In this video, you guys are gonna learn 3 tips to properly shift your motorcycles, dirt bikes, or motorcycles. I guess it could be either, but just shift them better. I gotta get psyched up, man. This is important stuff. What's up, guys? Tyler Livesey here at the MX Factory. Today, we're gonna teach you guys 3 awesome tips on how to shift your dirt bike better. The first tip is gonna be clutch or no clutch. When do we use this thing? And do we? The second tip's gonna be foot position. Are we putting our feet in? Are we putting our feet out? We'll figure it out. The third one's gonna be timing. When do you do this? Stick around to the end. We got a pro tip for you guys, something a little special that'll help you gain some speed down the straightaways and also slow down for your turns. It's gonna be good. Can you guys just, like and subscribe this? Come on, man. I'm trying to talk like Matthew McConaughey.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Come on, man. Come on. All right, all right, all right.
Are you done? Are you done?
Tip number 1, clutch or no clutch. So we get a question a lot. Do we use our clutch when we're shifting or do we not use our clutch when we're shifting? And it's a pretty broad answer, right? So a more advanced rider may at times not use the clutch, but in general, you want to use your clutch when you're shifting up. You do not want to use your clutch when you're shifting down. The reason for that, as you can see in a braking video that we also have, is that the engine is also slowing you down. If you pull the clutch in, it frees the engine up and you almost gain speed and lose traction with your wheels. So, as a thumb, what is it?
General rule of thumb. As
a general rule of thumb, or a broken thumb, you want to think about, when I'm shifting, I've got to free up my transmission somehow. I need to pull the clutch in to do that, shift the bike up, continue to go. Okay, you can also let off the gas to free that up, but I feel like you're just kind of slowing down, shifting, then speeding back up, rather than just pull the clutch in, release, shift. As you do it, it's gonna get easier to do it faster. So don't be afraid to take a lot of time learning this and don't get frustrated with yourself if it doesn't happen right away. In fact, what we teach our learn to ride riders who are just fresh off the bike is in steps. Off the gas, pull the clutch in, shift, let the clutch back out, back on the gas. So that is the steps of that. You just get better and faster with it as time goes on and the more you practice. A lot of times you'll see a pro level rider not using his clutch when he needs all the speed that he can get. And that's their only option, is to gain speed, and they're trying to get every little tenth that they need. 9 times out of 10 it's on the start, they're way off the back of the bike and they're just banging through the gears and not letting off the throttle. Now their bikes have upgraded transmissions that can take more abuse than most bikes, so keep that in mind. You definitely want to take care of your bike, so the clutch is a little better. So to go into a little more depth on what the bike's doing when you let off the gas and or pull in the clutch, you think of it as all these splines working together inside your engine, and if they're spinning faster, it's harder for your shift to catch in between one of those and keep on spinning. So what happens when you let off the gas and pull the clutch in, it slows that process down so your shift is easier to catch, right? So a lot of times you'll see guys hold the gas on and miss their shift and or hit a false neutral because it's not getting caught in between the right splines. Tip number 2, we're gonna talk about your foot position. What your foot's doing when you should be shifting or shifting up and down. So what you wanna think about, just like all the other things that we've explained with braking and all the other things, is that you wanna keep your foot close to the bike and you wanna go forward to back, front, back, shift, back, front, back, shift, back. And not shift and then out. And then back under and shift and then out. A couple different reasons why. The main one is that it eliminates any risk that you catch your foot on a rut or the side of a jump face, depending on what you're doing. It's just a little safer and more stable, and then gives you a little better opportunity to squeeze the bike up here. So tip number 3, third tip.
You say you a gangster, but you never nothing. You say you a wankster, and you need to stop fronting.
When do we shift? In general, you want to shift as your RPMs reach a high level to where the bike starts to lose power. But what happens in the power curve is you've got power. As your RPMs get too high, your power falls off, and then it's just like dead, okay? You wanna always keep the bike in this curve. So you go bop, shift, back down, bop, shift, back down, instead of bop.
4-stroke. 252 stroke. Cobra 50.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
So you made it to the end. Congratulations and thank you. So here's your pro tip. So what you'll notice if you watch a lot of videos of advanced riders is they do a lot of their shifting either in the air or in the air. You do not need to use the clutch to shift the bike up or down in the air. The engine should be freed up enough for it to go no problem. Just make sure you're off the gas when you're doing it. So they're gonna shift up in the air to go down a longer straightaway. It's freeing up the engine because there's no tension on the rear wheel. Okay, as long as you're not revving that bike in the air, you don't wanna do that at the same time. But off the gas, shift up in the air, it eliminates one step when you get to the ground. And then also shifting down in the air to eliminate a step going into a turn. Also creates some braking as soon as you land and plants the rear wheel a little more. So those are your pro tips. Try this in the air. Jump a jump, shift up, land, smooth throttle out. Also find a jump that's a little closer to a turn. Shift down in the air, create some decel before you get to the turn. All right, fellers and ladies, that was it. We shifted our bikes up, down, all around. Watch more videos over here if you like that one. Instagram's down here, 3 awesome clips every week. Please come see us there, and you can subscribe down here. Peace.